Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Addison, whatever time you're listening, and thank you for joining us for our ASD Chat for All podcast. We have lots of fun and exciting things on the horizon for Addison School District 4, and this podcast allows us the opportunity to connect with our parents and guardians, families, and community to celebrate our students, their accomplishments, and so much more. Your hosts for this podcast are ASD4 Superintendent Dr. Nick Sutton and myself, Dean Constantopoulos. You interested in hearing more about what's going on in District 4? Come on in and have a chat. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for joining us for another episode of our ASD Chat for All podcast. My name's Dean Constantopoulos. I'll be one of your hosts this afternoon, and I'm joined with my co-host, Dr. Nick Sutton. You know, Nick, I couldn't help but notice just throughout the week we saw a lot of administrators from all across the schools, from the different schools, like coming here to the district office to do some training. So what was that all about?
You know, with the beginning of every school year, there's all sorts of things to get ready for, but teamwork, camaraderie, a common vision, making sure everybody knows what targets we have for the year is very purposeful. So we spent some time doing a lot of that work. You know, everybody's busy, everybody's excited, and there's always that level of like just a little bit of an anxiety as school approaches. So just like kids have it and parents have it, staff members have it too. And a part of kind of addressing and accommodating that is we as administrators get together and really, in a lot of ways, just make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, well, that's really cool, and especially because I'm sure with some new administrators that are coming in, I'm sure it's a good way to kind of lead them into being part of the leadership team and all that good stuff.
Well said. Now, speaking of new administrators, Dean, who do we have here today?
So today we actually have Guida and Janette Barrett here. They are the new Assistant Directors of Student Services. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So we obviously know who you are, but in case anybody else is unfamiliar, so who are you both? And tell us a little bit about your background in education.
I'm Janette Barrett. Prior to this year, I was a dean at Indian Trail. I was a dean there for 3 years. Prior to administration, I was a special education teacher in district. I've been in district since 2009. My first year, I was a self-contained teacher, and then I taught resource at Lake Park the entire time teaching here in district.
Very nice.
And my name is Guida. I've also been here for 15 years, since 2009. One week longer than Janette, though.
I gotcha.
Interesting. Okay.
I started as a speech therapist for the district, and as the needs of our students has grown over the years, it kind of transitioned into assistive technology. We had a need for our own assistive technology support.
Yeah.
So I was kind of the assistive technology person for the district. And then for 1 year, I was also the behavior person for the district because of my background with being a CPI trainer. And then this year will be my first year transitioning over to administration.
That's really cool. So, like, both of you clearly have a lot of experience doing lots of different roles here in the district. So I'm sure that's really led you up to being able to be in this administrative position. So welcome to both of you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So congratulations on obviously taking these steps in your guys' career. So I guess I'm curious, like, why and what really motivated you both individually? Why did you want to do this? Why did you want to take on this position? Obviously, you've got some backgrounds that are relative to the areas of responsibility, but ultimately, with more responsibility comes a little bit more stress. So why do you want to take on this additional level of stress and responsibility?
Well, to start, I would say that Amanda and I have been jokingly talking about this takeover for at least the last 10 years.
Takeover?
Yes.
This is going a different direction than I thought, Dean.
Uh-oh.
When Carrie Cartman was our director, Amanda and I had approached her then and said that we thought that there needed more administrative support over special ed.
Yeah.
That it was too much for one person to kind of oversee, especially when to Amanda and I it made sense to just split everybody related service, self-contained and resource. And then when they opened up this position, it kind of just naturally went that way for us, which is nice. But I think that's the thing is we have passions in very specific areas within special education, and we want to advocate for those who maybe don't have as many opportunities to meet with the director or meet with administration because Janet or Carrie was so spread so thin that they couldn't really provide, by no fault of their own, but the extra support and services. And that's I think what we both want to do for our staff and for our students.
Gotcha. Well said.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. That was I mean, Carrie, when Carrie first started in the district, she helped with like bringing back a lot of our students that were outplaced, and the needs of our students kind of increased. And her background was self-contained. Janette's background's LDR, mine's related service. So she needed additional help because there just wasn't enough time. So like I started as like the lead speech therapist. Janette was the lead LDR teacher. So we were able to kind of take some of that from her to kind of help her out. But it was definitely something that she acknowledged she needed more training. So she encouraged me to go get my director of special ed endorsement.
Yeah.
So I blame Carrie Cartman for this.
Well, I just think it's so cool that it kind of shows you what kind of district we are when we're able to create roles specifically because we see somebody, it's like, okay, this person needs support. This group of children needs support. Like, we are going to create roles specifically to support our staff and our students. So for anybody listening, that's exactly the kind of district that we strive to be here. So it's just awesome to hear that sort of thing. So thank you both. Follow-up question from that. So I know this is the first time that we've had this assistant director of student services position, let alone 2 of these positions added. So how do you feel, and I know you just talked about this a little bit with creating the position, but how do you feel that these positions ultimately are going to serve our students and our families here in Addison?
I'll go first on this one. To start with, the fact that we were able to get 2, that was huge, and it has been, Janette and I have a very good relationship, so it's been very fun for both of us to kind of start with this together.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, we met and kind of divided out special ed, like who's going to support what population. So I'm going to be overseeing our student support programs and our RISE program. So my goal, I'm going to be sitting in as the LEA or the district representative for all of the IEP meetings, starting from when the students transition into kindergarten. So what I'm hoping with that is then if I'm every year in those IEP meetings with the parents, like I'm hoping to be able to develop a relationship with the parents, and really help with kind of making everything consistent across the district from early childhood up until junior high, so that we have that consistency.
Yeah.
I think.
And it will be the same for LDR. I will be overseeing LDR, but different than our self-contained programs, there's too many LDR students. I can't possibly go to all the meetings. So I will be kind of pulled in on an as-needed basis.
Yeah.
So that I can help with maybe students that are struggling a bit more, or parents who might have some more questions and need to understand our programming. But it's really about developing that consistency and that vertical articulation. And then one of the things that I'm really hoping to be able to do is to get into the classrooms.
Yeah.
So when that teacher says, I'm struggling and the student's maybe not making the progress that I anticipated, what else can I try? Because they can't see and they don't get a chance to articulate very often, they may not know that there's other programs and other options available at one of our other buildings. So I'd really like to be able to bring those ideas back to them and help facilitate how to implement new programs.
That's so cool.
If I can just add one more thing, another a big thing with that we're starting is the instructional program at the elementary level. One of the biggest things that we've seen is a lot of our students either get it's 80% or more time in gen ed, like the placement with LDR, and if LDR is not meeting their needs, they go straight to self-contained because we don't really have that in between.
I see.
So Janette has really been working with some of our LDR teachers. We were able to get a couple of additional LDR teachers this year as well to really support those students who are kind of in between, so that we're not going straight from gen ed to self-contained, but we're able to support them where they're at.
So we really are going to create supports for every type of student with every type of need.
We are, and it's going to mirror what we have available at the junior high. So when we're leaving our 5th grade articulation and our transition meetings to the junior high, there's There will be a clear picture. They were instructional LDR at the elementary. They need to be instructional LDR at the junior high, obviously on an individualized basis. But at least there's clear paths for our students.
Right, and the consistency that you were both talking about. That's so cool.
So obviously, I can pick up on your guys' enthusiasm and excitement. So if you're a parent out there that has a student that is receiving some sort of special education services, or you're a parent that knows of somebody else, like, what do you want them to know ultimately? Like, if they're thinking, wow, this sounds great, but what's going to be different? What's going to be the same? And oh my goodness, like, what would you say if you had the opportunity to any parent out there that they should be excited? They should be excited. What would you say?
That's a great question. I would say that the most important thing I want them to know is that they have the support, not just from one person, but there's 4 of us that are really overseeing the special education and student services department. There's always somebody to reach out to, and the fact that we are each specialized in very different areas, I think helps know that we're going to bat for their students for those specific reasons, as opposed to it just being a general special ed overview.
Gotcha.
We're here for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was perfect. Exactly what Janette said.
Very cool. Very
Excellent.
cool.
So these parents, let's just say these parents, they want to learn more about what's going on. They want to learn more about the services that you're providing, or maybe specific services that you're providing. What's the best way that a parent or community member could reach out to either of you?
There's, a couple of different ways. We're going to be in the schools, so if they're not sure, they can look on the district website for our contact information, but also reaching out to their child's classroom teacher or their case manager. And if they have any questions or concerns, we're in very close contact with the teachers, so that if there's anything that we need to contact parents or anything like that.
Great.
And I know that Amanda said it, but obviously one of the best ways to reach us are via our district email. So mine is jbarrett@asd4.org.
And mine is Guida, AGUIDA, @asd4.org.
And I know I've heard other people talk about maybe their Twitter handles or things like that. I have no social media, so really the only way to reach me is via email or calling the district.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, and Nick, so same question to you if a parent wanted to talk a little bit more about this, or if they wanted to get in contact with some of our some of our student services folks.
I'd love to chat. Like everybody else in Sutton at asd4.org. And I, unlike Janette, enjoy Twitter, but it's called X now. We got to get used to that. It's called X. You can find me on X at Dr. Nick Sutton. Dean, I know you're always lurking around. Where can people find you?
Also on X at Addison SD4. It's so weird to say that still. I'll get used to it. Anyway, Amanda and Janette, thank you so much for joining us. It's really been a pleasure. And honestly, this is a lot of really useful information that I think our parents are really going to be excited about. So thank you both so much for joining us. And for everybody listening, stay tuned for next time. Thank you for tuning in to our ASD Chat for All podcast. Check us out at www.asd4.org, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts for more. We'll be back soon with another episode, so stay tuned.